Hello there, Facebook friends and community. Just going to try this again. At first, I wasn't sure if I was recording. Okay, I'm trying this again. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I'm so excited to be jumping on and talking today, this evening, about mental blocks, that sabotage healing that really stand in the way of us balancing our hormones and healing our adrenals. And more importantly, talking about 3 strategies that you can use to help shift these blocks. So really you can start stepping into 2020 with like the really knowing what it takes to, on the mental side, to really get the healing that you're looking for. So because honestly, if you can shift these and stop the hormonal cascade, it's a game changer. Okay, hello there. So I'm just getting started. So Ronam77, Rise Vanti joined. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just getting started. I'm excited to share some 3 strategies for shifting these common mental blocks that I see all the time in people with adrenal fatigue and hormone imbalance that are part of our community. And you know what I want to start with is that this is not saying that this condition is in your head. This is not what this is about. I just want to be really clear about that. I get 100% what you're dealing with. I've been there myself. And when your hormones are all over the place and your adrenals are exhausted, life can be really tricky, right? Hello, Stephanie and Badi Biney, and thank you so much for joining me. So I understand this is not about this being in your head. It's not. What you have, what's going on in your life is real. So, you know, this is about really just making sure that we're also addressing this piece of the puzzle. We're not just addressing the gut and diet, but some of these things we don't really want to look at in our lives. Maybe we're kind of nervous to shift because they're a part of our lives and we actually don't even know how to shift them. But I think a lot of you out there kind of get what I'm getting at. Like at your core, you know that the way that we think, the way that we feel directly affects our hormones. And so hope you can stay with me and really let's just talk about this. So I really want you to chime in and ask your questions. If you're here live, I want to support you. So ask your questions. Let me know if this is resonating. I want to make sure that I am serving you. So just pop in your questions and I look forward to exploring this all with you. So and for those who maybe this is new to it and like mental blocks, and I don't know, just ask that you keep an open mind because believe me, I've been where you're at, and this was the biggest game changer for me in my recovery. Once I got what I'm about to teach you guys and share with you guys, honestly, I was able to heal my stage 3 adrenal fatigue within a few months. Yes, it's true. This is also not about judging ourselves. If you find that some of these blocks you have come up, this is not about judging you. There's really no time and energy for that. This is about just shedding light on kind of what might be blocking you that you're just not, that maybe just need to be, again, shed light on so that we can work through them. You're amazing. You're doing amazing things, but you have so much more to give in the world. And that's why I'm here, is because, and why I do what I do is because I want you to live an awesome life. And I know that adrenal fatigue can stand in your way if, you know, it's going to keep you from pursuing your dreams, doing the things that you want to do, being surrounded by the people that you love. So, anyway, let's see. So, you know, we can shift a lot of this stuff really easily. So I'm going to give you some cool strategies. So I just want to tell you though that again, we can't ignore you know, the mindset piece of this. For many years I wanted to too. I was very skeptical, and but again, it's changed my life. So hopefully you guys know this is not about, so much of our community talks about how their doctors, want to put them on antidepressants. And I have no judgment about antidepressants. Some people really thrive on them. Some people, it really supports them. Some people don't want to be on them. And again, I have no judgment, but it's about if you know that there's another way, I want to teach you some really cool strategies I've learned. It doesn't take meditating, for 30 minutes, although meditation is a really awesome practice. Some of us have a hard time wanting to start there. So, let's go ahead and just shine. Like, I want to talk about the different blocks that come up for people. And so let's just dive in. And if you have a particular block that you're dealing with right now, or like you want to work through it right now, I'm really here to support you. But what we need to understand is that the physical body is a reflection of the mind. I mean, our thoughts and our mindset create feelings, which have reactions in our body. And I'm talking about reactions with your hormones and your adrenals, right? So, even traditional medicine, if you're a skeptic, I totally get it. I was there. And, but there is even traditional medicine gets this. That's what the placebo effect is all about. So let's just let's just jump right in. Thank you so much. The Janelle and the real Michelle, love it. Okay, and Stephanie, thank you for joining me. So the first block that I want to talk about is what so many people when they come to us in our community is healing even possible? For some reason, I can't see myself anymore. I don't know what happened. Oh, there I am. I switched my camera around, I think. Sorry about that. Is healing even possible? And we get so many questions about this, people coming into our community and our free Facebook group, our awesome Facebook community, and they ask, will I ever get better? And if you're feeling that right now, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Are you feeling that? Because I know a lot of us are. And I remember feeling the same way. So there's also this idea that adrenal fatigue recovery has to take years too, that either doesn't happen at all, or if it is, it's going to take years for you to heal. And this is really sad to me, even though I understand, because so many people have lost hope. Now, there's a reason why people have lost hope. I mean, there's a gamut of reasons, right, that we can feel hopeless about this journey of adrenal fatigue recovery. And that is that, you're reading this on online forums, that people have been suffering for 10 years, 15 years, 5 years even. But what I see is that sometimes a lot of us aren't really addressing this condition in a holistic way, which I truly believe is the way to do this if you really want to be able to balance your hormones for the rest of your life. And, some aren't getting the right support from their doctor. Their doctors don't believe them. They don't believe in adrenal fatigue. People are trying to do it all on their own. I see a lot of that. People guessing with supplements that actually can do quite a bit of harm if you're not under the guidance of a practitioner and an expert in adrenal fatigue. And again, I'm not trying to make anyone wrong, because ask me why I know is because I have done all these things as well. Or I feel like I experimented with all of it. And so, but, many are expecting supplements to be and synthetic drugs to heal this issue. We're often ignoring the underlying issues, the deeper issues. And again, that's the mental game. And so today I really want to help you shift that. I really want to help you move into a space of healing. Oh yeah, healing is totally possible. And if I was a stressed addict. I was addicted to incessant doing. I had adrenal issues for the first, or I was like a stress junkie. I just thrived on it for decades, the first few decades of my life. It was truly a part of me. And like I said, I healed very quickly once I was able to address this condition from a holistic point of view and take that approach. And I have to tell you that like I was struggling to get pregnant for over a year at that point, which maybe is not long for some people, but it seemed like a long time for me. And I was able to heal in a few months and get pregnant, have an amazing pregnancy. And so, yes, you can certainly heal. It is totally possible. It worked for me, so there you go. And it works for many of our clients who are willing to take this holistic approach. And yeah, um, so for me, it's about letting people know too that meditation can be kind of, even though I'm a yoga teacher and a meditation teacher, a lot of people have a really hard time starting there. And so I'm going to give you a little trick here in a minute, something very simple that you can do to start shifting this idea. Like whenever you have that idea that healing is not possible for you, and you're starting to you feel that doom and gloom and that like I'm losing hope kind of thing, I have a little strategy you can use. That's how many of you would like a simpler way, right? So the truth is that you're exhausted and you don't necessarily trust your body right now. So I want to like help you just like light that like inner power in yourself and motivate you to start believing in this process and that healing, trusting in your body, and that healing is totally possible. So every time, I want you to get a pen and paper. Every time that you think that it's not possible, that healing is you're just having one of those really hard days, I want you to reframe it, and I want you to reframe it with a question. And a question is very similar. If you're new to me, this is new, but for those of you who follow me, know a lot about my kind of the mentors I follow about how important questions are. Reframing and affirmations can be very, very powerful, but how questions are actually even more powerful when asked in a certain way. So every time you think that it's not possible to heal, I want you, okay, write this down. I want you to say out loud to yourself, what is actually possible here with my health that I haven't even considered? So what is actually possible here with my health that I haven't even considered? So, or like, what is actually possible with my health that when I start to let go of resistance, I can start trusting the process? Or what is actually possible here when I start to trust my body? So those are some questions you can play with. Again, I want you to write it down. I want you to put these on like your mirror or your fridge in your kitchen or the car, the dashboard of your car. So is this helpful? I mean, is this, who wants to try this? Who has played with questions before? I want to hear from you. Emma, welcome. Thanks for joining me. So we're just talking about how to move from feeling like recovery is impossible to it being possible, and how you can shift that with just a simple reframing. And so that can happen very quickly. You can do this, like I said, it takes moments to reframe your thoughts. And I like to say these kind of things like at least 5 to 10 times. To, they say for every negative thought you have, you have to like, at least have like 5 positive thoughts to kind of cancel out the negative thoughts. So that's why I like to say it at least 5 to 10 times to myself. I like saying it out loud and actually really tapping into like the curiosity of what it would feel like to actually already trust in your body and to trust in this process. So many have healed, and I don't think we hear enough about it in these groups. We don't always hear about people healing. We hear about the struggle, and because people need to like vent and like, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes it's hard because we don't always hear how possible it really is. And we see it all the time. We see people shifting things very quickly, actually, when they start addressing all aspects. And we have, 7 steps in our program to recovery. And when we see people addressing all of them, then that's really where it's powerful. So the second mental block that sabotages healing is functioning from a victim point of view. a victim mode, or why me? Now stay with me, because I know many of us go there. Like, it's totally human nature when something bad happens to go to why me. Believe me, my life hasn't been easy. I know sometimes when you're when you're seeing somebody online or whatnot, you can say, oh, well, they haven't had as hard of a life as I have. But let me just tell you that I've been through some pretty crazy things. And when I am in victim mode, I feel completely powerless. And when I start to go into the why me. Now, so are you there right now? If that's what you're feeling right now, if you tend to go to the why me, just maybe say, yep, that's me. If you're willing to be vulnerable. So we all go there, but honestly, it doesn't really do anything except make us feel sorry for ourselves, and it kind of keeps us in a stagnant place. So again, it's your choice if you want to stay in that place. But if you really want to see shifts in your world, hello, Callie, thanks for joining me. If you really want to see shifts in your world and shifts in your recovery, and actually just having a more enjoyable life and happy life, is moving away from like, why is this happening to me, to like, okay, what is my body trying to tell me? And ask me why I know this. Like, I was definitely one of those people, and I still, occasionally can go to the why me scenario. But if you can get yourself out of that, there's so much more power in that. And I want to invite you to that because, oh, thank you, Callie. So I want you to kind of think about how you might be able to get yourself out of the why me mentality. Some people use a gratitude practice. I'm going to give you a really cool strategy I like in a moment. It might not be your fault why you're here, why you landed in adrenal fatigue. For me, honestly, I say, like, for my burnout, my stage 3 adrenal fatigue, I actually do take full responsibility for that, because my adrenals, I always say my adrenals didn't just poop out of me one day. It was actually a lifestyle that I created that I thought I needed to have in order to be happy, which actually was quite the opposite, actually, but I had to learn the hard way. But for some, the conditions that happen to them, or, having hormone issues from a very young age, like, it's really hard for us to, it's whether it's whether you feel, and we're not going to a place of judgment here. There's no, like I said, there's no time for that. But if you feel like I felt like it was my fault, but I've totally forgiven myself for it. So it's totally cool. Whether or not it's for you, it's like, for your health to improve, like, we need to shift out of this, but we need to realize that maybe it's not our fault, but it's our responsibility, right? No one's going to come and heal ourselves for us, right? I mean, doctors might help us, practitioners might help us, right? But no one's going to come and, like, well, it'd be nice if someone came and picked us off the floor when we were, and that's awesome if you have that support. But when it comes down to it, you're in charge of your healing. And, honestly, that was the most powerful thing that I learned from my adrenal fatigue recovery. Somebody gave me this advice. I was so resistant. I remember when I first heard it, it pissed me off. So if this is triggering you, I totally get it. But as a coach, my job is not to always be liked, but to push people to think differently, to push people to motivate them. So again, I was totally resistant to this idea that I had created this, or that maybe it wasn't my fault, but it was my responsibility. And I had a note I remember it so clearly. I had this note in my bathroom, and I put it on my mirror, and I read it every day. And, like, when I stopped resisting it, and I actually tapped into that feeling of, like, okay, it's not my responsibility, or it's not my fault. It might not be my fault, but it's my responsibility. I was like, oh my God. And it totally shifted things for me. Honestly, like, that one thing, I could not believe it. So that's what I wanted to share with you. So, and again, we've all played the victim mode. But when you realize that life isn't just happening to you, that you're more in the driver's seat than you've ever thought you were, it does shift things. And I want you to help. I want to just, if you're willing to be open to that, I want to help you step into that feeling of, like, that you have more control over it. life is, and what our life is kind of a, I like to think like a combination of all the choices that we've made. And we don't always understand why things happen, but you know, wait, if you want to move past it, there's a time to wallow in it, there's a time to honor it, there's a time to acknowledge it. So definitely do all of those things. I'm 100% in agreement that we should honor all of those things. And when you're ready to shift and choose something different, then awesome. Callie said, I'm trying. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I know so many of you feel like you're trying, and that is amazing. If you feel like, I mean, that's awesome. And really, there's no judgment about trying or not. And like, but if, just know that like every little baby step can help. So, you know, these little strategies I'm giving you today are just a little starting point. And honestly, I have done like decades of personal development, I have to tell you. And I'm giving you like the things that have actually worked the fastest. And hello, Dr. Effie Germanis, one of our naturopathic doctors. This has been a game changer for me. So anyway, let's see, what else did I want to share? So again, I want you to just I want you to feel like you're in the driver's seat of your life. And so here is a cool actionable tip I'm going to give you. Okay, so you're ready to write this down. That, and again, you're going to put this one on your fridge or wherever. It's just, it might not be my fault, but it's my responsibility. And I'm ready to shift this. I am the creator of my life. So again, it might not be my fault, but it's my responsibility. And I am the creator of my life. And I'm ready to shift this. So whenever you need to remind yourself of your power, to be aware that you have a power to change it, I really recommend you use this in your life. Okay. Also, just remembering that our bodies are always trying to communicate with us, always trying to give us messages, and often it's just that we're not listening. And that's okay. Like it's just one of those things where what I've learned over the years is like, okay, my body is very, very good at telling me, which I love, but sometimes it's like, man, why do I have to learn this way or learn the hard way? But anyway, so that's a phrase that you are going to start, I would love for you to start using. Please share with me if you'd like, if you feel like you're ready to use this strategy, because I'm excited for you. Again, the victim mode doesn't really create. It just sort of keeps us in the same place that we're at. So there you go. Number 3, the third mental block, and of course the strategy, more importantly, on how to break through this block. We're talking about the worry mentality. And I see a lot of this with adrenal fatigue, and it makes sense because, you know, when we are tired, or when we are suffering for so long, or when we are, if we have like, you know, if we're having issues with our stress hormones and our adrenals, then it's going to be harder to cope. But there's a lot of worrying that I see, and I see that a lot in the world too. And it's really cool because it's hopefully help motivate you, because being in a worrying is actually one of the biggest energy sucks that I see. I work with clients a lot on energy and, you know, having enough energy and whatnot. And so I just want to encourage you with that if energy is an issue for you, if you're exhausted all the time, that the worry is something that might be, you know, time for you to address. Now, underneath the worry, you know, is a lot of fear, and fear is a threatened state, right? And so that's going to exhaust our adrenals even more. So again, it's not to make you feel like if you worry a lot, that it's like all doom and gloom. It's actually just, realizing the connection so that you can motivate you to shift it. Because, I just want to ask you, like, we talked about this a couple weeks ago in my other live about stress, is that the kind of the opposite of stress and worry, especially worry, is trust. And so, I just want to ask you, like, where did you maybe learn these worry patterns from? Is this somebody, a sibling or a parent in your life? And is it really yours anyway? Or is it something that you felt was a part of them, and so you're sort of honoring them by continuing it and perpetuating it? So that's big. That's big. So if that kind of triggered you, then there might be some truth behind that. And again, there is no judgment. It's just, do you want to continue a life of worry? And, would you like to shift that? If you feel like a lot of people feel like it's just such a big part of their identity, they can't even imagine changing it. And, worry is a distraction. It's really keeping us from enjoying our life, keeping us from having a happy life. So I like to say kind of worry is like a joy sucker and a huge distraction. And hello there, JPSM. Thanks for joining. I'm talking about how my third mental block, it's all about just kind of this worry mentality that a lot of us get in. And believe me, I know all about it. I was there for many years. And when we can start to learn how to shift this and have some strategies around how to help with the worry, we're not only going to help give our adrenals a break every day, like when we can not be in a constant state of worry and constantly be clenched up and kind of have a stuck energy, constriction in our bodies. That's kind of usually what worry and fear create in our bodies, is a constriction. So we're not like allowing everything to flow, right? When we start to shift this, we can do amazing things for our adrenals. Actually, healing can happen very quickly when we start giving our bodies and our adrenals a break every day. So that's what I want to share with you. Because I want to, for a moment, let's just take a moment and just, go with me on this. And just kind of close your eyes. And I want you to just, I'm going to say the word, and I just want you to feel the word in your body. Worry. 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 And what energy does that word bring up for you? And then when I say trust, trust, trust. Maybe even opening your palms to the sky and saying trust. It's sort of a surrendering. I mean, there's a different energy to that. I mean, can any of you agree? Can you just say, yes, yes, I felt a difference? Because it doesn't have to be a part of you anymore. It's something that you can slowly start to catch yourself in the moment of worry and say, you know what, I'm going to start trusting. I'm going to start trusting my body, that my body is super powerful and can totally heal. I trust that I'm supported. I like to feel my earth, the earth beneath my feet. I sit on the ground. First thing in the morning is a great time to sort of bring this element in, because it starts your day out in a totally different way. So what would it take for me to trust the universe? That's a really great one. So that's a really great question to ask. What would it take for me to start trusting the universe? What would it take for me to start trusting my body? Please write these down, because they're really key. There's a reason why people do affirmations. There's a reason why we do mindfulness work and meditation. Like, it's not just because we want to be trendy. People wouldn't do it if it didn't work. So there's obviously there's key stuff behind this, right? So what I want to challenge you to do is to take a question like this that I just shared, like, what would it take for me to trust my body? What would it take for me to trust my healing? What would it take for me to trust the universe or the powers that be? do this simple exercise. Sit or even lie down in your bed in the morning, and I just breathe a few times and ask this question and feel yourself grounding into the floor or the bed, and just say, I am safe. I am protected. And everything is working for me and with me in my healing. And if you start to practice that and repeat it to yourself, I have no doubt that you will start to shift things in your world and shift things in your body, which is what we really want, right? That's the result that we want. So if you are listening, I hope this was helpful. Please share what strategy is most helpful. Maybe what is your biggest mental block? What are some, what is coming up for you right now? I'm happy to help you work through it. If you want to share, be vulnerable. Don't be shy. I'd love to support you. If you're resisting this and not wanting to write things down, or I don't know, just know that it's there for you whenever you're ready. And it is powerful. It's changed my life. It's changed other people's lives. So we're just scratching the surface here, my friends. My son is super sick today. I've been holding his hair back the whole day as he's been puking. So I'm going to go check in with him. But before I go, I just, this is, I've been reading up on Joe Dispenza. What you're saying is true. I totally try to meditate, but somehow wander off and end up falling asleep. I love that. So honest. It's happened to all of us, I'm sure, that meditate, no worries. And the cool thing is that you're just trying it. And meditation's not going to click right away for some people. Totally fine. And just playing with it, even just a few minutes of just being quiet can do wonders for our bodies and our minds and our lives. So, as a yoga teacher, meditation teacher, I'd say, keep just doing it and having fun with it and not having too high expectations. I think that's the biggest thing for people, is that they feel like they need to just, I have to do this every day and I have to do it for this certain amount of time. And, honestly, it's just a practice. And it'll get easier and easier as time goes on. And, maybe if you fall asleep, it's what you needed anyway. You just needed to go to sleep. You needed to rest. So, trust the body. And so, but that's awesome. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. I love hearing from you all. Makes me think that I'm not alone out there in this cyber world. So again, this is not going to resonate with everybody. A lot of people are resistant to this stuff, but it is the stuff that, when people are willing to let go of the resistance around and actually do the work, then powerful shifts can happen. And I like clients saying this all the time. So I hope that if you want change, then you might be willing to look at some of these things. And if you're ready to recover this year, I want to let you know, we definitely have lots of free resources on our website, hyaf.com, .ca, healyouradrenalfatigue.com, or for short, hyaf.ca. And we have a free starter kit for those who are just interested in, getting a quick guide to sort of get started if this is kind of newer to you. And I just want to let you know that if you're tired of doing this alone and you're tired of guessing, then we have a very clear, holistic, 10-week signature recovery program that we guide people through. And I'm really excited to tell you, because we're doing an awesome deal. By January 2nd, we are getting people in that program the last time at the price that it's at, $527, which is amazing. And we're actually raising the price. We're switching things up. We're adding a lot of new things to the program as we've been listening to all of our audience and our clients through the years. So we're shifting some things. We're going to be doubling that price. So if you want to get in for this last round, where it's like a super, super easy investment to say yes to, even if you don't have the $527 up front, we even have a payment plan to help break that up. We offer, again, a clear plan to recovering from adrenal fatigue holistically through our 7-step process. This is not just like the program itself and this beautiful online dashboard with all these resources, but really what's so important is that we're in there every week answering your questions. We're a team of naturopaths, nutritionists, health coaches, yoga teachers, meditation teachers. We have all these things to support you. So it's a total steal. It's called Fatigue to Fabulous, if I didn't say that already. And that's what we want for you. So I'll go ahead and put a link to learn more about that. The doors, again, are closing on January 2nd, and then the price after that will be going up and doubling as we're going to be switching things up. So if you're interested, please feel free to just reach out to us. We're info@hyaf.ca, so that's the email, info@hyaf.ca, and or feel free to leave a comment below. And yeah, I just wanted to, again, I'm about to head out, but so again, if you feel like you're just kind of guessing and you feel like you're suffering alone and you want a community where you can be together with us every week, answering your questions so that you can just go back into your world and actually implement those things, not wonder what you're doing, if it's right, if the supplements you're taking are right. A lot of people end up going backwards because they're taking supplements that actually aren't supportive for them. And so we want to help you make 2020 the best year yet. And so we're just excited to offer all of our people this amazing deal. And we hope you can join us in January. We'd love to help and support you in 2020. So I will put a link, and it's bit.ly. It's well, actually, it's just too long of a URL so I'll just put it in the comments. And thank you guys for joining me this evening. Like I said, I have a little sick boy out there. Luckily, Daddy came home from work and is cuddling with him, but I want to get back to him. So. And I'm 31 weeks pregnant this week, so I'm pretty excited about that. And anyway, I am so thankful for you all being here, for stopping by, and let's keep the conversation going. Put your comments below, and let's shift these things so that we can give our adrenals a break and let our hormones come back to their natural state, because yes, hormones are supportive. Supplements are supportive. And getting good sleep is important. But if you're doing all these things and you're trying to eat right, you're trying to get all the right supplements right, but you're not addressing a root issue that could be going on, and a mental block, you're just kind of stuck in a worry pattern, you're not going to be able to fully heal. That's just 100%. I'm just being completely honest, because I see it all the time. So I think I'm going to finally go, but it's hard because I love hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Much love to you all, and have an awesome rest of your Tuesday evening. Talk to you soon. I'll be on, Danielle will be on next week with another hot topic for Alive, and then I'll be back in a couple weeks. And I think we're going to try to do one together soon, so we're excited about that. All right, bye for now. Let's see where oh, there you guys are. I'm gonna try to figure out how to end this video. I think I'm still on, and that's totally cool. Eventually I'll turn it off here. Thanks for still joining me. Oh, thank you, Audra, for joining me. And it's harder to see the comments when I'm on Facebook, on Facebook instead of Instagram. So for those of you on Facebook who have been watching the whole thing, thank you so much. So anyway, love to y'all. See you soon. Bye for now.